Absolutely.
Over to you.
Yep, pleasure to be here, Tom. As always, it was a great webinar, part one, a few weeks ago. We've got part two today. I'm Jake, sales manager at Realtair, and auctioneer as well at the moment. So I have been for a little while. So still in the field, keeping my hand in it. But today is all about the digital introduction. And as you were just saying, it is tough to get appraisals at the moment. Stock is tight, is what we've been hearing. So when you get in that door, you want to make sure that you leave a good first impression. And today is all about setting up between what we covered last week in the last webinar in the price update. We'll do a quick recap on that. And that's the prospecting system on getting into as many doors as you can. Today is what do we do before we're actually in there to prep our clients, to prep ourselves, and to come across. First impressions matter as agents, and we want to make sure that we get in on the right foot. So very excited as the audience builds to jump into the digital intro today.
Yeah, and listen, I'm happy that we've got people here today, because I know that in most of Australia, school holidays are on. There is a very large group of people that are on holidays, and many of those people are overseas. But what we're going to do is, for those that aren't watching this live, we are sending this out. This is going out to all the people that have registered. As I'm kicking off, Jake, I want to ask you, digital introductions, a couple of questions. Why are they important? We're going to cover some Q&As today. But can I just get you, and I think maybe you're going to touch on what we're talking about today, or maybe just in general, prospecting for agents and Realtair, right? Yep. Explain to me how it works and why you think Realtair is important in the prospecting equation, Jake.
Yeah, good question, Tom, and a great place to start off. Prospecting, as we know, it's changed. It's changed dramatically since the old days in real estate, and today, with all the digital tools that are out there, we've got to be two things. It has to be frequent enough to be in front of the client, but not too in their face that you actually annoy them. And it's got to be relevant. There's so much mass email spams, texts going out at the moment that potential vendors are overwhelmed with agents reaching out. So whatever you send them has to be very relevant for their property. And that's what we touched on last time in our webinar in part one. Realtair provides a prospecting sequence. It's not just tools that agents can use. It's a very curated sequence that agents use. Step one is the price update, which we went over, and that's about communicating very consistently and in a very clear manner to your database in order to get them to reach out and say, hey, Tom, I want an appraisal. You know, you've sent me some market data. You've sent me what's happening in the area with some recent sales and some current listings. What's my place worth? I want to know. You're the expert. Can you come out and give me an appraisal? Step two today is you've booked that. What do we actually send before we go and meet that client? Or potentially if it's a cold client, how do we introduce ourselves? And then in a couple of weeks, we've got the third step, which is the full proposal. And how do we use that tool? So Realtair complements what an agent does. It makes it, number one, really quick and efficient to actually generate these on-brand, on-point templates. It's super quick for the agent to do. They can do it themselves, or their assistant can do it. But it looks good, it looks professional, and it works. We've got agents that are using this and getting some incredible results, which we'll share some of those stories throughout today with our viewers as well.
Okay. So 2 weeks ago, Jake, we covered the digital price update. And in summary, it's a part of a prospecting strategy that is giving clients in your database a touch point and education into the reality of the marketplace using surrounding sales. We spoke about the great benefits of being able to get notified when they're looking at the document, at specific components of the document, and how useful that is. Today, we're going to talk about the digital introduction, which we all know as being pre-listing kits, right? Yeah. So Jake, many years ago, real estate agents started working out, if I actually give something to an owner before I meet them, it might actually help me service them. It'll help me get them closer towards me. It might save time at the listing presentation where I've given them information prior. But I think in the process, what happened is what was a simple introduction ended up becoming this big box of brochures and stuff that they would never look at, right? And you're actually creating a to-do list for vendors that didn't have time to do that to-do list. And you'd often would see brochures that were really not even relevant, like in there. It was just like, the more the better, just throw everything in there. Whereas what I've really enjoyed about the Real Estate Gym members and other clients that are using Realtair is the simplicity and the elegance of it being so easy, and the way that you just hang up and within seconds they receive something by text message. Whereas the old method was, oh, get my PA, I put it all in a box, mate, go off to 27 Smith Street, drop it down. I got the appointment there, right? And then, yeah, so that's all gone. Tell me, how does it work and what are the components that make a good digital pre-list?
Yeah, perfect. I think just to start, you've hit the nail on the head. We've complicated it. It's become a complicated process, and actually now agents have stopped doing it. So they literally book the appraisal and then they'll go and turn up and they knock on the door and it's a fresh face. It's a new client. No one knows. So we're almost reinventing that step again, but it's very stripped back. And what I'll show you today when we build a live one in a moment is what you need to include in it and what to leave out. And the last thing we want to be doing is overwhelming our clients with awards and stats and all these different information about the office and all this stuff that looks great in marketing, but does it really help you secure the listing or not? And what we want in this digital introduction, everything needs to be in there for a reason. And it needs to mirror what you're actually going to present, so that when that client receives that document, they know very clearly what you're going to go over in that hour and a half that you have together. So it very much lays the foundation or paves the way with a few little bonuses along the way. So that's really what that digital intro is all about. Firstly, and we'll show you, introducing yourself if it is a cold client or somebody new. Who are you? What are you going to discuss during that appraisal? Setting an agenda, which an agenda is a funny word, but they want to know what you're going to go through. But also, let's use it to collect some information about that client. There's a lot of these pre-listing or pre-appraisal surveys that are going out. What's important to them? Is it price? Is it fee? Is it the speed in which a transaction takes place? You can actually put some links into some great surveys as well, and confirming the appointment. So there's some really high-level key items which agents are seeing great success in the digital intro.
And Jake, can I ask you, the clients that are crushing it with digital intros at Realtair, is text message the preferred method or email?
Text message definitely gets better cut through. You can send it either or. We've got the text message a built-in system, so the agent can simply click the SMS button and it will send from their phone to the client. So the contact's in there, it pops up that Tom Panos has sent it, or you can get an email, to link to put in an email as well. So text message we find gets a lot better cut through.
Okay, in a moment, and you're able to do it last time. Yeah, actually wasn't. You were working off a live platform. You actually built it live in front of us. Are you going to have the ability to do that today?
Yeah, I'll show you a live one. Yep.
Okay. But in essence, what you're saying, Jake, is that, and I agree with you, I reckon people have stopped doing pre-list kits. I think what happened is I think during COVID, people started realizing an extra touch point having people go over couldn't be done. So they sort of stopped it, right? Then there was a group of clients that jumped on with the digital ones and they started doing it. But there's a whole group of clients that stopped doing pre-listing kits that aren't doing anything. And then there's also the group of people that never really realized the value and benefit of actually having a pre-list. So we're appealing to both those that have had it before but stopped, and those that have never had it. Maybe we move into it, and because I want to ask you, because the other thing that I'm curious is, how long is it going to take to actually do, because that is, how time consuming. And maybe if you're going to go live, we're going to be able to see that with our own eyes.
Yep. Yeah, you'll see it. Look, and that's the biggest thing. It can't take 10 or 20 minutes to do. It can be done in literally under a minute, because it is something else to do. And as agents, we have a lot of things to do. So it's just something else to do, but it is going to make you stand out from your competitors. And there's also a little bit of trap setting in there as well. If we're talking about having conversations with our vendors around fee and price, why not give them some questions to ask you as an agent, fully knowing that you have the answers? So we'll go into that.
I love that. I love that, because I'm not saying you're throwing hand grenades, but what you're doing is you're actually exposing your strengths and potentially the weaknesses of competitors by, giving people, some questions, let's call it the competitor destroyer.
That's right. And look, as an agent, as a professional agent, the fee, the price, the market conditions, the changeover costs. Why not give those questions to your client to ask you and any other agent that's going in? Because you're prepared. Is the other agent prepared? Maybe, maybe not. But you're actually loading the conversation. And a lot of the time, people don't know what to ask an agent. So why not give them some good questions?
No, 100%. So Jake, let's head over to you sharing screen, and let's just have a look at the actual logistics of actually building a digital intro.
Beautiful. So I'll start where we started last time, the dashboard. So everything that's done inside of Realtair is from your dashboard as an agent, and you'll have all of your campaigns. Now, into the campaign that we went into last time, you'll have your template. So in this case, we've actually sent the price update to that client, and they're booked an appraisal. So great, I've got in the door. Now is where the digital intro comes into it. So very easy to create. We hit the create button, choose our digital introduction template, and it will take us into our bouncing ball screen. Now, this particular template has a number of steps, and an agent can have as many steps as they like. But remember, we're not overcomplicating this. We're going to keep it simple in just what we need. And today is just one example of a number of different templates that you can have. We mentioned our integrations last time. So our data is already in there. It's pulled through from our CMA. So from our database that we've got. We've got information on the property. If you do want to include any awards or stats, you've got to be very careful about that, because I know that you talk about this, Tom. We don't want to come across as the awards agent with all the awards and all the stats. We want to be very selective in what we're actually putting in there. Stats can be powerful as long as it's not overwhelming. So if I'm going into my core suburb where I'm killing it at the moment, I do want to have some stats just to show that, but not to be the ego agent that's out there. Information about the team. And then we can see here our meeting schedule. So this will put in a digital calendar invite. So there's not actually too much that you need to select for this template, but in the finished template, we do have a number of stock standard items which are in there that we don't need to customize each time, because they're just built into the template, which is nice and easy. So I'll take you from the top. Number one, welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to actually meet and come out.
I saw you press the save button. Have you finished? That's
it. Yeah, that was it.
So that's done.
That's done. Digital introduction.
I hadn't even realized you started, and it's finished. That's how
we're done.
That to me, from what I saw there with that template, that is 60 seconds max.
Max. Yep.
Okay, let's go through it. What's in there?
So welcome message, just setting the scene. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and provide some information around the market and an appraisal. Here's some information about us, but more importantly, I want to take you to the agenda. So this would mirror exactly what you're going to talk about during your listing presentation or during that market appraisal. So the client has a very good idea of how you're going to spend that hour and a half together, and what you're going to go over. And this is setting you apart. I'm not flooding them with office statistics and the history of the office and all of those certain things. It's very clear. This is how we're going to spend our time. There's 6 things that we're going to go over. We then go down to a little bit of information about me as an agent. Now, if this was somebody that I hadn't met before, we do want to get them comfortable with who I am and almost introduce yourself before you get there. And that's where this video section can be really powerful. This is a placeholder video today, but Tom, the best way I've seen the video section used is a simple 30-second video of an agent saying to camera, thanks so much for the opportunity to provide you with a market appraisal today. I'm really looking forward to meeting with you. These are the things we're going to discuss. Here's some questions you might want to think about. Really looking forward to our appointment.
So Jake, on that, are you saying that you create a 30-second video for every appraisal that you go to?
I would just do one generic 30-second video and upload it into the template. So you're not having to do it every time. So you wouldn't mention a name or anything like that. But it actually, video is very powerful, as we know. It gets that client, they already know you before you turn up at the door.
Can I ask you, the process of doing the video, it's not because I can see the value. I can see the value of having a video in there saying, hi, David and Sarah, really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I can see the value in the personalization if you want to. If you were going to go down that path, is it just simple shoot video and upload into a field on the document?
So we just link it either to YouTube or Vimeo. So if you've got an account, you can literally just grab your phone, put it on a tripod and record away, upload it and put the link in there. So we do have agents that do actually take the time to personalize it. Of course, it takes a bit more time, but you can have that link set up in the template as well.
So all you're doing is putting a YouTube link or a Vimeo link.
Yep, correct. So at a template level, and this is getting a little bit into the weeds, but I would have a generic one so that if you don't put in a personalized one, your generic one will drop in. But then if you do put in a personalized one, it will override it. So you can have that flexibility when building as well.
Perfect. Yeah.
Here's some stats that I have put in just to show that stats can load in there as well. Testimonials, great. People that have actually trusted you with the business before. And then all the way down the bottom to the confirmation of appointment time. So it's very clear. It's not a massive document, but I'm getting across to that client, a number of clear things. Number one, who am I? And why do people trust me to sell their home? Number two, this is what we're going to discuss at the presentation. Number three, a confirmation of appointment time. And I did mention before, some agents, not in this template specifically, but in their own templates, are having links to maybe some surveys or questionnaires that they want to ask that client to find out a bit of information about them before they come out.
Yeah, so I've got to say, if you did do the questionnaire, what are you suggesting, Jake, that once you get to the property, you ask them before you start your guided tour or your presentation, you actually ask, could I have a look at some of the answers to those questions? Yeah,
so you can either do that or load it in here to a questionnaire section and link it in with one of the the survey providers or anything like that. It might be a jot form or something simple where they can just fill out what's important to them in selecting an agent. So you've got that background as you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can give me access for a second,
while
we're at it. What I want to do is actually just show you, Jake, a couple of things that I think that illustrate what you're talking about. The first one is the this help me help you. It's actually one that Matt Steinwade uses, and I believe Steinwade, and they are Realtair clients off the top of my head. Matty Steinwade, one of the great real estate agents of Australia. It's called the Help Us Help You, right? In order of 1 to 8, what is most important to you? Marketing, fee, listing, internet, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on and it asks the client, when are you thinking? So this is a time frame. This is a price question. So that's extremely useful. And what you're saying is you can incorporate that into your digital intro, right?
Absolutely.
And then the other one, which let me see if I've got it easy accessible, is the competition destroyer, Jake, which is this one here, where you talked about 11, here's an example, 11 questions you should ask a vendor, an agent before you list with them, right? And you're just making sure that these 11 questions, you're good at them and that your competitor is not, so you can control the questions.
Yep.
And it could be an example. If you're one of these digital agents now that's working without a PA because you're able to get so much work done because you're a high-tech agent, you might have this question: will you be doing all the open homes yourself and speaking to all the buyers yourself? And that's a good question, because sometimes what actually happens is it can create a bit of doubt for an agent that's got an army of soldiers, right? And then the vendor says to them, can you guarantee me that you'll be doing all the opens and you'll be doing all the callbacks, right? And it gets them a little bit rattled when a client asks them these questions. But Jake, the way you went about doing that was a 60-second proposal. I like that proposal because it's simple, it's elegant, and the reason I like it is I could picture myself reading it, because that would take me a minute or two to read. So I'd actually read it if I was a vendor. I'm fascinated, Jake, to ask you that if you're someone like you did that very simply, and I can't help it. I think some people are going to turn around and they're going to start complicating in their head. How do I get it? How do I integrate it into my business? Like the template. I mean, how long does it take? So right now, if you're watching this and you aren't a Realtair client, you can't use that Mackenzie's template. Like there was a Mackenzie. That was your own, was it?
That was just one that we've built. I just call it Mackenzie & Co. It doesn't exist, the company, but it's just a sample template.
By the way, Susan has put in the chat box, everyone, if you are getting inspired and you want to actually suss it out, you go to realtair.com/product/digital introductions. How long does it take, Jake, to build a template for a client?
Oh, Tom, the templates can be built in 10 minutes, really, if you want to. Signing up with us, we can have you up in 72 hours in building the templates and sending it out. We've got a number of templates that they can click and choose and drag and drop from, which are really, really easy to use. So it's not hard. I know I did click through that pretty quickly, and I work at Realtair.
It looked too easy. I thought you were just starting and you'd actually finished the report, because I saw you press click and save. Can I ask you, what data does someone get from digital intros? Like, what does the sender get?
Yep. So good question, because that's where I was going to go next. Essentially, all the data across our 3 templates, the price update, the digital intro, and the proposal, every time that client opens it, you will get a notification. And this is so powerful. We have Shane Slater, who's actually one of our founders. This is a true story. He sent one of the templates, price update and a digital introduction, to a client, did the appraisal. They chose not to sell. They chose to hang on to the property because of their situation. 3 months later, Shane's sitting on the lounge, and this is no lie, Tom, watching the cricket, and his phone starts to light up that the client had opened that digital introduction again and again. He hadn't heard from them in 3 months. He probably should have called them, but that's okay. He rings them the next day and says, I was just thinking about you. He was out there 3 months ago, signed it up, sold it a week later. It was a 25 grand comp. So it just goes to show the power of knowing when clients are actually interacting with the documents that you sent.
This is the advantage of being a tech-based agent. It's like you've got your assistant inside their house having a look. Have they looked at it yet? Have they looked at it yet? Right?
Yeah, and it's a great feeling when you start to see your clients interact. I know I used this last time, but it's like going to the letterbox and giving them the DL when they're standing there. It's the ultimate. They see it, they open it, they're interacting with it, and then you can communicate at the right time. When they're in real estate mode, that's when you're giving them a call or sending them a text message. Digital introductions are great. Why not send them to both parties and see who's opening it more? Is it the wife or the husband? Then I know who I'm talking to at the appraisal.
Yeah, I like that as well. Yes, that's right too. That shows how committed they are out of the partnership, out of the two into it, because it's never a 50-50 decision. One person has got more influence than the other. Susan, if you don't mind, I might get you to put that resource that we put in last time as well, because Realtair have been kind enough to actually have an area. There you are. A prospecting rocket fuel. Is that right? That is correct. So on that link there, you've got free resources and email templates and some scripts and dialogues that can help you list and sell more property there. And I want to ask you, Jake, firstly, because I'm sure that some people are watching this and they're thinking to themselves, man, yeah, I can see this is going to help me. To sign up, realtair.com/sign up/ is there. But once you're on Realtair, you will be able to join if you want to. But the sign up page is realtair.com/sign up/. I want to ask you, what does it cost?
So the whole platform, $189 a month, one flat fee. It includes everything. And we've only gone over the first two parts of our pitch solution. That will also give you access to digital document signing for all of your documents, agency agreements, Form 6 for our Queensland viewers, also to contracts and offer management, auctions and deposits. So you get it all, everything you need as an agent to be a digital agent for $189 per month.
So $189 a month. You can choose to do it yourself as a standalone real estate agent. Jennifer Chambers is asking, I'm not quite sure what the question is, but you might be able to understand what she's saying. You have an end date on the appraisals, intro, etc. Is this a good idea or not?
If it's the end date is in the expiry, Jennifer, I think that's what you're talking about. Yes and no. I would always leave a document open, because if that client chooses not to list, like in Shane's scenario, you do want to know when they open it down the track. If you make it expire, you won't know that. There are ways in which you can hide certain fields. So if you're looking to maybe hide the fee and the marketing and a few things like that, if you know competitors are going in and you don't want that shopping effect, there is a little button which you can hide in the edit section as well. So if you're looking for that purpose, then I'd leave it open.
Okay. Now, we asked this last time, we got asked this a lot of times. It's been asked 2 times here. Is this available in New Zealand?
We are. Yes, we are. So Realtair is in New Zealand. We have a New Zealand product for NZ, but it is all the prospecting tools. So yes, it's very much available. Jump onto the website. We are actually launching our New Zealand website very soon, but for now, jump onto the website, pop in your details, and we can have a conversation with you about all our New Zealand clients.
Okay. I'm having a look here as well. Another question, $189, that is per person, correct? That is $100
per lead agent. Yeah.
Per lead agent.
Yeah. And if you have an assistant, we will give them a complimentary account to help manage your listings as well.
Oh, so if they've got an admin person that does certain things, they don't have to sign up.
Yep, perfect. They just get an account as a part of the package.
Okay. $189. If you can you sign up today? Yes, you can sign up today. Yes, you can sign up today. And the best place to sign up is on realtair.com/sign up. And this is $189. So far, we've done digital intro and digital price update, giving people a heads up on the 25th of July at 4:30, the 25th of July at 4:30, not 4 p.m. So 4:30 on the 25th of July, we are going to be doing the 3rd chapter to this, and that is looking at the actual proposal, I think. Is that what we'll be doing?
It is, yeah, proposal. So that'll be part 3 of 3 of all the prospecting tools that you need as an agent. So it's the full proposal. It is the summary that you send. It's the document that you present with that agents are using in both of those situations. But it is going through everything: marketing, fee, price, timeline. There's some great calendar tools there. This is where agents save a lot of time. I speak to agents spending hours on doing these summaries or proposals. These can be done in under 10 minutes, Tom. So it's a great tool.
And this is the proposal's also linked to actually getting an agency commitment, isn't it? This is the bit where you're going up to sign the agent up, and when you actually get these tools, you're actually also getting access to sign, which we didn't. We're not talking about it because it's not really part of our prospecting series. But can I just confirm that when you actually become a subscriber, you're not only getting these tools, but you're getting sign and sell?
Correct. Yeah. So you get the whole platform. I'll show you next in a couple of weeks, but there's a little button that you can press on the bottom of the proposal, or actually any of these documents, and it will start to pre-fill your agency agreement with everything that we've put in. And that's names, comparable sales for all the extra forms, like the estimate of sale price form that you need to fill out. Pre-fill a lot of that agency agreement, and then you can sign that either on glass or digitally as well. So you get those tools.
Yeah, listen, it's got to the stage. Look, during COVID, all the virtual auctions, it was, that's what people wanted to do. And I've noticed now, but with my own auctions, a lot of clients might not stream the auction live, but they're using Realtair for all the benefits of being able to keep your bidders together, being able to get the paperwork done together, just set and forget stuff. Do you find that as well, Jake, when you're auctioning?
Absolutely. So, there is the live stream to capture followers. The neighbor that just tunes in, you get their name, number, and email. So it's a great prospecting tool inside of Sell with our QR codes. The bidders registration, I had an auction the other day with 38 registered bidders. To register all of those at the auction would have taken half an hour. They were all pre-registered. They were done. So the agent knew Friday night that they had over 30 bidders turning up to the auction on Saturday. So there's some great tools just to streamline all of that back end and admin and registration of auctions, and also private treaty sales as well.
Okay, Jake, I'll just keep you on just for a little bit longer. I know it's 4:30 Sydney time, but if we don't mind, a couple of questions that have come in. What about trust accounting section? Is it included in the software for WA? I'm not quite sure what you mean, this is not a trust accounting software. So I don't know whether you want to add anything to that.
We've got our deposits solution, which is inside of Sell. Maybe Anya's referring to that. So we do have the ability to collect a deposit straight to the agent's trust account, and also that has no daily limits. So if you've got a large deposit that needs to go through, that can go straight through. Okay,
Jake. Mark's asked, is all this done from the lead agent or assistance login using only the lead agent's mobile number?
Yeah, so I think Mark might be referring to assistants maybe prospecting on behalf of the lead agent. The lead agent's mobile is linked to that account. So if an assistant agent's prospecting on behalf of them, it will go out from the lead agent's account.
Right. Okay. And then the last one is Denise has asked, can you still just get pitch meaning the price update, the intro, and the proposal?
Yeah, so that is part of the platform. It is one of our solutions, but it's all included in the platform at that 189.
Okay. All righty. Well, I'm an assistant. Can I still see if the client has opened it?
Yes. You've got the live updates on the dashboard that you can see if they've been opened.
Mate, you have been very, very thorough. I want to recap, team. Those of you that want to get the free resources, it's in the chat box there. The one that says resources / Panos prospecting there. Then we've got, if you want to join up, it's realtair.com /sign up /. We've covered everything. And I just want to remind everyone that the 25th of July at 4:30, the next one, there's a few people asking, can they get part one? 3 people asked that. The answer is yes. I think how you're going to get it, maybe
it's on our YouTube channel. You just type in Realtair and it's there.
Okay, go to YouTube, type in Realtair, and you can watch the first session. I had a lot of good feedback for you, Jake, from that session from people. I've just got to tell you, team, if you don't like change, you're going to hate extinction. Don't give your competitive agents, the one that you don't like, the ones that take money from you every day. All I've got to say is don't give them a free run. Don't give them a free run. Go out there and make sure you've got everything that pushes the dial towards you. And I can tell you, if even it was the text message that came with a beautiful inserted video there saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and had some stats that, and also, you know what I liked about your plan there? Your plan was not convoluted. It had a house maximization plan based on an agenda. And people love to know, when you come on over, what are we going to actually talk about, right? Or are you just going to be telling me about how good you are? Not, you've put an agenda that is structured. It's not scripted. It allows creativity, but it basically says, this is what we're going to be covering. And yeah, Patrick Ascenso says, Realtair pitch is awesome. Most of my clients make comments on how professional it is. Thank you, Patrick.
There's also the other question, does it work with Property Suite? I think it means property management.
So Property Suite is a CRM in New Zealand, Jake.
Yep.
And I know that Peter was telling me that they were trying to, I'm not quite sure if they've integrated as yet. Do you know?
Yeah, look, we're working on that. I guess one of the benefits is, even if there is no integration at the moment, the first time you put the details into Realtair is the last time you'll have to, because once they're in there, name, number, email, it will push all the way through. So it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. We're working as hard as we can to build all these integrations, and happy to integrate with anyone that wants to integrate. So
Scott's a great real estate gym member, great agent, has put down, pitch has been a game changer. There is so much you can do with it. I agree with you. I've got to tell you, I'm sold. And the reason I'm sold is I have the agents that tell me. Then Hope has asked, can you please confirm, is this a link sent via text or an email? Either or, but Jake says text,
yep.
Text is the preferred way. Jake Mackenzie, thank you so much. Much appreciated. And we look forward to seeing you on the 25th.
Looking forward to it. We'll complete the final third with the proposal, which there's a lot in it, but looking forward to get into it. So thank you, Tom.
Must be concerning for the people at Realtair when Jake comes along. The audience goes higher than what Pete Matthews and Lee Woodward there. Must be concerning for the guys there.
Oh,
Jake, guys.
Thank you.
Alrighty.